Today, as I mentioned earlier, my guest speaker, Hilary DeCesare, she's the founder of Relaunch. She is an expert in launches, relaunches, business, speaking, tech, fintech, investment, TV, media, you name it, everything that you need in a launch and a relaunch, she has the formula, everything. So launching is not just about you create a product and put the link there. Today, you are going to learn what it takes to launch, because Hilary DeCesare, thank you for coming, because you know what? We both live in this world, and we're part of this industry, that we understand that many times people spend so much energy and time and money on creating the product, but very little is left to launch and relaunch that product, and maybe very little is known to do that. So welcome to the Global Woman Club. And it's great to have you here, and thank you for your time, and we can't wait to learn more from you.
Marilla, it is so much fun. And I have to do a shout out to Gabriella, because I'm actually right now visiting my mom, Inga, who is from Denmark and came over to the United States when she was 21 years old. And she was married to my dad for 45 years, who passed a year ago yesterday. And so I'm visiting her, and she is just like an amazing woman. And I've heard so many.
You are in Europe. You're in Denmark?
I'm not. My mom, my stepmom is from Denmark, and I'm visiting her right now.
Right now, you are in Europe. You are in Denmark.
No, she's actually now in the United States. She's in California, San Francisco. That's where I am right now. But
okay.
I was saying, I'm like, I love Denmark. And by the way, the other one that I want to go to of your events I saw was in Florence, Italy. How about that one?
Oh yes,
Sign me up for that. My gosh, there's so many great ones.
Yeah, I would love, and you are very welcome, because we need relaunches everywhere. And
everywhere. It's global.
Let's get started. Yeah. So first of all, can you tell us a little bit about your journey before we go to the definition? What exactly means relaunch?
Absolutely.
So tell us a little bit about your journey. How did you start this? And what did inspire you? Was it a pain? Was it a calling? Was it something that happened to you and you just felt that you need to follow this path? Tell us a little bit more.
You know what I love about this question is I have a podcast called the Relaunch Podcast. And what I do when I first start talking to someone, and nobody's ever really said that to me, is what was your biggest relaunch that you've ever had, this transition, this massive thing in your life that really changed everything? And so lovely that you're asking, because I think what I'd like to say is that my relaunches, and there's a reason that I have a company called the Relaunch Co., is that it has gone from when I was 2 and I had a near-death experience to having 34 significant relaunches in my life, from melanoma to losing grandparents in car crashes to just some really crazy things that, maybe people have gone through 1 or 2. There's been a lot, but I look at it that there are teaching moments in everything, and there are silver linings in everything. And the one question I always ask on the podcast, or when we are either pre or post the interview, I'll say, and this is after 200 interviews, if you could go back and change what happened, would you? And I want everyone to really listen and think about their own journeys. Not one person has ever said, I would go back and change it. So really incredible. And my journey, took me into the Silicon Valley during the heyday of high tech. It was a boys club. I was at Oracle, a high tech company, for almost 10 years, and realized that I was doing something. And yes, it was financially lucrative, but I didn't connect with it. I didn't like it. I didn't even know who I was looking in the mirror and what face was looking back at me. I was somebody that I had created because of the environment, and it changed everything when I left. And in those days when I left, this was 23 years ago, I ended up, if you can believe this, I ended up having a moment where It was one of those times where I started into a profession that today is called coaching, but 23 years ago, or even 30 years ago, was called consulting. And so I ended up doing this consulting, coaching, and helping Silicon Valley CEOs and entrepreneurs scale their businesses. And what I realized during this process is everyone out there was approaching it from, hey, what business are you trying to grow? What's your strategy? What are your steps? And there was one that came to me, a gentleman that said, Hilary, I really want to scale my business into Europe. And I said, okay, let's make it happen. And I had had great success doing all of this, but I said, let's really figure out like what is it about scaling into Europe? Well, I want to make more money. I want to have more opportunity. And then I stopped him and I said, so that's awesome, but tell me about your personal life. What's going on there? And he's like, wait, you're business coaching. I don't want to talk about my personal life. And I said, but just go down this path with me. And he said, well, to be perfectly honest, my wife and I are not doing well. I'm traveling way too much. And she's told me if I keep traveling, we're going to end up getting a divorce. And so I said to him, well, how will you plan to expand internationally, not travel to keep your marriage? Do you want to keep your marriage? And he said, no, I totally want to. And I said, then we need to come up with an alternate solution. And it was from that moment forward that I incorporated into a holistic approach, a concept that we're going to be talking about in a bit called 3HQ. And 3H's are head, heart, higher self. And too many people focus on the head, the steps, the strategies, the courses that we take. But there's so much more in the heart and the higher self, that best version of you. And it's so interesting because coming from a doctor dad, a doctor grandfather, I thought I was going to be a doctor. This is a whole new twist on things. This is something that everyone needs to learn, a 3HQ lifestyle. But really what we have to be doing is thinking about what are we all looking to achieve. And you started it out, Morella, saying a great thing. You said the energy in this Zoom room, right? The energy. What I am going to help you with today is I literally am going to teach you something that my highest paying clients give me thousands upon thousands of dollars to learn. And this is by far the biggest takeaway that you can start to implement in your business every single day. I use it nonstop before everything I do. So I'm super excited to go there. But then after I started coaching, I never gave it up. But I also got the entrepreneurial bug and I started to launch businesses. I was passion based. It's always been, like, how can I impact people? I had a high tech company, security company to keep kids safe online. I've had companies where, it's all about the, how do you really impact? What is the impact of business? And now I'm doing what I ultimately know I'm supposed to be doing, relaunching people really, really in their midlife. And I love saying that because I go back to Brene Brown defines midlife, 35 years until you're dead. So I think looking around, it's probably a lot of us. There might be some younger ones, but just realize that the mid zone, as I call it, is a truly exciting time. And you can make it the best next 10, 20, 30 years of your life with the most incredible success stories. And that's what I go for. That's what I do. I get people to go to their peak performance level and create a lifestyle of success that is right for them.
Wow. That's powerful. So you are saying that sometimes when people try and they think they have given the best of it and they think that's it, it's over, that is the moment when in fact it's time to move to the next level. And relaunch looks like it's next level. It's not over. It's not because the end of something is the beginning of something else. And
Brilliantly
so
said.
why do people sometimes give up so easy, and they don't go back to, in fact, see how can they how can they turn this into their advantage? How can they turn this into the peak performance and take advantage of what they have been going through to bring that to the next level? So what is your experience on that?
So I have spent many years studying all about the brain, all about I have a psychology degree, I have a neuroscience master coaching degree in this. And here's what I want to say is that we are hardwired. We are hardwired to not push past our comfort zone. That's what we are supposed to be doing. Our subconscious is designed specifically to keep us safe and familiar. Safety, I know what I know. This is my world, and I don't want to do anything different. Or familiar. Again, this is my world, right? Keeping it safe, keeping it in the comfort zone. And we all know when we think about the zones that we fall in, and some of you might be in the burnout zone or close to it. Some of you might be in that comfort zone, like, I just can't seem to get past whatever revenue level you're in. Maybe it's you're trying to get past the 5 figures, you're trying to get into the 6, maybe you're trying to get in the 7, the 8, wherever you are. We as humans want to be in our comfort zone. But here's the thing. The G zone is where things happen. And what the G zone is it is past our comfort zone. You got to push to get past it. And I have a great, way to do that. But once you get into the G zone is your great zone. It is your genius zone. It is your gratitude. It's like, oh, I cannot believe I am here. I can't believe I have this life. I can't believe I have this career, this company. But here's another part of the G zone. It's your growth zone, growth. So if any of you are thinking right now, why isn't my business growing? Why isn't it growing? I like to say your business is a direct reflection of you. So how are you growing? How are you pushing yourself to get into the G zone past your comfort zone? And your question, Mirella, is so just spot on these days that people so many times they do, their affirmations are like, I want this, I want that. All of the gurus out there are telling you jump to I love my life, keep saying I love my business, I love my, everything. Well, for so many of us, we're not even at yet. We can't even like what we're doing. It's like a grind. It's pulling us down. It's heavy. It's a lonely existence. It's, some form of embarrassment when, oh my God, I don't want to tell my husband or my partner or my friends, I'm struggling. And so what we do is we have a lot of self-sabotage. And in order, we're hearing, go to love, you're asking people to go from not liking themselves, sabotage, judging, right? The big judge in your head, to jumping over. It's like jumping across the Grand Canyon and getting to love. It's for some of us, I know for me, as I was going through a divorce and I had 3 little kiddos that I was trying to, be a good mom, and I was feeling guilty about working. And then I was guilty when I was home because I should be working. And there was this massive, I am a complete failure. I am not doing anything right. And so what really has taken place, and I've learned this throughout the years, and it's a process that I've created, it's something that I call your bugs, your beliefs underground surfacing. Your bugs are your limiting beliefs. Your bugs are going to come out at the most inopportune time. Maybe you've just had the best quarter. We're winding up right now, Q2. Maybe you've just had the best quarter. And then all of a sudden, whammo, you go slamming down. And next thing you know, you're struggling again. It's like, why can't I have it? Why can't I be successful? And these are all around limiting beliefs. And what I found is that there are 3 queen bees. The
Mm-hmm.
queen bees are your key bugs that every one of the hundreds of thousands of limiting beliefs, they all come down to one of the three. I'm not good enough, or I'm not worthy, depending on how you like to talk to yourself. The second is I'm not lovable. And the third is I'm not safe. A lot of times the I'm not safe is I don't have enough money. I can't pay the bills. How am I going to keep this company going? How am I going to keep this, house, with the roof over my head? Lots of unsafe environments. And so as we look at bugs, as you look at your own limiting beliefs, the greatest part is this, that with every limiting belief, we also have the ability to go into positive and empowering. And there's a fantastic way that we're going to be talking about later to be able to do that. So when you're thinking right now that you're not where you thought you would be at this time in your life, you're not where you thought you would be. You thought you would be further ahead in your business, further ahead in your relationships, further ahead in any area, your health, your wellness, your spirituality, even your energy. And I'd like to ask you all this question, if you could put it in the chat. If I were to say 0 to 10, 10 being like you are maxing out like high caliber energy right now, when you first joined this call, what was your energy level? What was it? Was it a 1, really low? Was it a 5? Was it a 10? Where are you? Put that in the chat.
That's a very good question, because, and something that you mentioned is very important, is like, yes, we all want to grow our business, our projects, our dreams, but everything can grow to the extent of the level of our growth. And it's very, very important that you are bringing these factors. What do we need to do to reach that growth is, in fact, to focus on our our personal growth, our self-development, and explore ways around it. Then we can move to the levels that we want to aspire. And why not? As you mentioned, maybe, yes, many times we had big dreams, we had big aspirations, but as we go through, sometimes they get vanished. We lose contact on the way. But how do we recontact? How do we reinvent these, reactivate these big dreams and big ideas to maybe reprogram ourselves for the next level? And so how do you think the level of energy, or especially the environment around us that kind of activates our energy, can impact on making these so-called relaunches? First of all, we need to relaunch ourselves, yes? Before we relaunch anything, we need to relaunch ourselves, because ourself is new every day. And with the new science now, and you come from that background, everything is like reinventable, relaunching, recreating, reprogramming. So tell us a little bit more on how do these factors impact? Because at the end of the day, we know it's all about cause and effect.
And I noticed in the chat, thank you everyone for putting in, and Agata, I got you. I got you, girl. I am here. We are going to level you up. And what I really want to say is this, that, for many people, you're searching for, I want to find my people. I want to find my peeps. I want to find my group. I want to find my like-minded individuals out there. And I hope by the end of today, after we go through what we're going to be talking about, you realize it's not about like-minded people that you should be searching out. It's like energy people, because energy is everywhere. It's in everything. Vibration has, whether I'm talking about this water bottle, whether I'm talking about this pen, whether I'm talking about this human being here, you all, energy is everywhere. And so as we go through this, Marella says, that there's so much coming at us right now, more than ever. So I want to give you, each and every one of you, this ability to take a deep breath and just be like, Okay, there's a lot going on. There are global relaunches, right? We've got economic relaunches. We've got the, pandemics, we've got wars, we've got crisis coming at us in just bombarding us in more ways than we've ever had it. Then you've got business relaunches. More people are trying to figure out what they're going to go do next than ever before. Women, and I just did a podcast with Marilu Hemingway, and she was saying, like, oh my God. And by the way, she loved what we're going to go through today. She's like, this is the most powerful thing I've ever done. So I'm so excited that I get to share it with you all. But I want you to be thinking about the business, and more people, more women are deciding to be entrepreneurs. And that opens up this whole idea of the relaunch. We're not launching our business. We're literally taking our, what I call in your higher self, the best version of you. We have access to this wise woman. We are, if you think about it, we have 1,000,000 of us inside of us at different ages that have done so many incredible things to get us to where we are right now. Our wise woman, that is an accumulation of all of you, is there waiting to be able to inspire you, to be able to intuitively guide you. We just don't. We may hear a little, but we're not listening. And we're going to go through that. But when you think about global relaunches, and I heard LinkedIn with business relaunches, something like now 62% of LinkedIn individuals right now are looking to do something different. And then you've got almost, what is it, 450 million entrepreneurs right now. And then you've got your own personal relaunches, right? There's been, more divorces, more separations, but also more people coming together, finding that special person. And we've kind of, it's like a snow globe. We're kind of shaking things up right now. And it's not about a new normal. This new normal, it's not. It's about a new different. It is different. And so I always say, and perhaps if you've never even heard me, or if you have, I want you all to imagine that, you've got your, stake, that you're going to put your stake in the ground, like you're planting, right? And you just put it down. And today is your relaunch. Today, from wherever you are, no judgment, no, like looking at the bugs. They're just kind of put away right now. I want you to really think that this is your opportunity to take wherever you are to that next level. And it's 100% possible. And this is the best part. Having been in the coaching world for as long as I have, having run multiple companies, acquisition offers, I mean, I've done this. I've seen it. And the best part, I always say, is that people come to me and say, well, you're probably going to think that this is crazy. Nothing is crazy to me. I've seen things where people are like, that's a miracle, Hilary. This is magic. And that's the greatest part, that what I do is something more powerful. And it comes from, maybe it was, when I had that near-death experience and my intuition is just, on fire, or maybe it's that I've just done this for so long. And I believe, because I've seen it actually with thousands of clients happen. So manifest, goal setting, priority setting, results driven, got it. I haven't seen anything that we haven't been able to accomplish if it is something that is aligned with you, right? If that is really the case, gaining such clarity. And so I always like to just kind of say this, tie this up this way. If you were to really make a movie of your life right now, and you think about like the overarching theme to the movie, you think about, is it like a rom-com, a comedy, a drama? And here's the thing: what kind of movie do you want to create next? Right? You already have that movie. Maybe it's been a blockbuster. Maybe it's like, whoo, love it. Maybe there's several, like maybe it was a trilogy of movies that you've already created in your life. But literally today, what are you going for? That's where this magic resides. And the best part is, if you think about magic, magic is an illusion, right? An illusion of what you're thinking you see. So why can't we, because your subconscious doesn't know the difference between your eyes, your physical eyes, and your mind's eye, doesn't know the difference, subconscious does not. Why not start today with your relaunch of creating that Academy Award winning movie that you are the actual best, best actress. If there are men listening, best actor, that's the magic right there, that you have it in you to do this.